So yes, the title of the talk is Insurance in an Age of Algorithms. And it's not very usual for me to start the presentation with the contradiction that nothing has changed, yet everything is different. Now, I have to be honest about one thing, which is that I'm fairly new to your industry. I'm not an insurance guy, so to speak, not yet, I think, you know. And so my experiences have been more technology-driven disruptions on the other side of the fence in different industries. It's not usually wearing the hat of an incumbent and trying to disrupt things through technology. It's usually the other way around. Now, the reason I mention this is that this is why I'm going to present this talk as a thesis. As a thesis, as a hypothesis that I try to defend through bringing out different experiences and some data. And hopefully at the end of it, you know, you'll buy into this hypothesis or not. And I'm looking forward to any conversations we might have as well in which I get to learn something new as well. Okay, so you know, what's an algorithm? An algorithm, in its simplest definition, is simply a set of instructions so that a machine can do a job. That's what an algorithm is. That's what you learn in any first-year computer science sort of program, right? But you know, when I talk about algorithms, it's much more than simple tasks that need to be done. And algorithms are everywhere right now. They're running our lives, and we kind of know that. It just happens to be in the new world, not in the old world. So if you think about how we search content, that's an algorithm so that you can get a relevant search. When we think about how we get from point A to point B, there's an algorithm behind that just makes sure that we can get to our destination in the most efficient way. You know, when we order a car, there's an algorithm that matches demand and supply and produces a price dynamically. These are all algorithms that we live in, right? And so I'm going to try to project that world onto the world that we all live in right now. But in doing so, we also just have to keep in mind that we can't just look at one part of this equation. An algorithm-driven world has many parts to it, right? And if you think about just sort of the last 20 years and sort of the acceleration of change that we have seen driven by technology, you know, I kind of put it into four big buckets. You know, it started with the sort of the internet revolution, where we had a sort of a much more efficient channel by which we could disseminate information, ideas, eventually products, services, and so on, right? And that led to your sort of data revolution, right? Because we became more digitized and we became much more efficient in gathering data and producing data as well. So that led to your sort of data revolution. And again, I've put an approximate timeline just to kind of show how far behind we might be in some of our conversations as well. So the data revolution started in 2000s, early 2000s, right? Then, you know, that led to sort of the compute revolutions, because, you know, like the old adage, you know, necessity is the mother of all creation. We needed better platforms for computing. So we had a compute revolution, you know, in terms of elastic compute, in terms of distributed compute. And then once we had the compute, we were actually in a position to embark on the latest one of those revolutions, which is machine learning or AI revolution, right? Now we have much more sophisticated means by which we can reason through data.